Welcome back to our channel where we share updates and untold stories about. The air in the small, tastefully decorated living room was still, holding its breath. It was a new kind of stillness for Tammy Slaton. For so long, the air around her was heavy with the labored sound of her own breathing, the constant hum of medical equipment, the low din of reality television cameras. Now, the silence was peaceful, earned. Sunlight, a guest she'd long been denied by the confines of hospital rooms and her own immobility, streamed through the window, illuminating dust motes dancing like tiny celebrants. Tammy, seated comfortably in a plush armchair that accommodated her transformed but still significant frame, scrolled through her phone. A small, private smile played on her lips. It was a smile of recognition, not of amusement. On the screen was a flurry of TikTok comments and Instagram DM previews, a digital cacophony focused on one question: who is Tammy dating? The rumors had been swirling for weeks, a low-grade fever in the fandom of 1,000-pound sisters. Grainy photos of her alongside a new, supportive friend had been dissected with the intensity of the Zapruder film. Whispers about her closeness with a certain nurse during her long stints in rehab had evolved into full-blown fan theories. The world, which had watched her nearly eat herself to death, then fight tooth and nail to reclaim her life, was now obsessed with the logistics of her heart. For years, Tammy's narrative was not her own. It was written in numbers on a scale: 605 pounds. It was written in diagnoses: tracheostomy, lymphedema, respiratory failure. Her story was one of survival, a public battle fought on a private battlefield of trauma and addiction. Her identity was the sister who couldn't leave the house, the patient, the cautionary tale. But sitting in that sunbeam, over 400 pounds lighter and immeasurably lighter in spirit, Tammy felt a new authority stirring within her. The weight she had lost wasn't just physical, it was the weight of expectation, of shame, of allowing others to define her boundaries. She had clawed her way back from the brink, learning to walk, to breathe on her own, to live. And part of living, she was discovering, was defining herself on her own terms. She opened a new TikTok live session. The notification buzzed out to her millions of followers. Within seconds, the viewer count skyrocketed. Comments began to flood the screen, a waterfall of heart emojis, questions, and well wishes. "Hey, y'all," she said, her voice clearer and stronger than it had been in years, the trach now a memory. "Just sittin' here, enjoyin' the day. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel." For a few minutes, she made small talk, answering questions about her recovery, about Amy's boys, about what she had for lunch. She was warm, engaging, the personable Tammy that fans had rooted for through 7 seasons of television. But there was a new steadiness in her gaze, a calm resolve. Then, she took a slow, deep breath, a action that was once a monumental struggle, now a simple prelude to a proclamation. "So, I see a lot of y'all are real interested in my love life," she began, a wry chuckle escaping her. "Y'all are worse than my granny at a family reunion." The comment stream exploded with laughing emojis and eager affirmations. "I see the pictures. I read the comments. Everybody's got a theory." She paused, her expression softening from amusement to something more profound, more vulnerable. "For a long, long time, I didn't think about love like that. I didn't think I deserved it. Hell, I didn't think I'd live to see it. My world was so small. It was about the next breath, the next meal, the next disappointment." She looked directly into the camera, and the thousands of people watching felt, for a moment, that she was speaking to each of them individually. "When you're where I was, you don't get to think about who you want to love. You just hope somebody, anybody, could love you. You're begging for scraps of affection, and you'll take it from anywhere you can get it, even if it's not good for you. That's a lonely place to be." She shifted in her chair, the movement fluid and unassisted. "This journey, it ain't just been about losing weight. It's been about finding me. The me that was buried under all that, everything. And part of finding myself is being honest about who I am." The comments slowed, as if the entire audience was collectively leaning forward. "All these rumors, some are right, some are wrong. But y'all are asking the wrong question. It ain't about who I'm datin'. She smiled, a genuine, proud smile that reached her eyes. It's about what I'm looking for. And I guess what I'm here to say is that my heart, it don't see gender. She let the sentence hang in the digital air, simple and unequivocal. I'm attracted to people, to kindness, to a good sense of humor. To somebody who sees Tammy, not the girl from the TV, not the number on the scale, just me. If that's a man, great. If that's a woman, that's great too. My soul ain't got a type like that. The dam broke. The comment section became a blur of rainbow flags, love hearts, and messages of support. We love you, Tammy. Yes, queen. Proud of you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tears welled in her eyes, but they weren't tears of sadness or pain. They were tears of relief. It was a final unshackling. She had conquered the physical mountain, and now she was planting her flag on the peak of her own truth. I'm saying this because I spent too much of my life hiding, she continued, her voice thick with emotion but unwavering. I hid in my house. I hid in my body. I hid behind excuses. I ain't hiding no more. From nothing and nobody. If I can survive what I survived, I can be my damn self. The moment wasn't crafted for a TV producer's meeting. It wasn't a dramatic reveal edited for maximum impact between commercials. It was organic, authentic, and profoundly ordinary in its courage. It was a woman in her living room, finally feeling safe and strong enough to tell the world a fundamental truth about herself. The news outlets, of course, would blast the headline, 1000 LB SISTRR star Tammy Slaton confirms sexuality amid dating rumors. They would use her quotes and frame it as a reveal. But for those who watched the live stream, it was so much more than that. It wasn't a confirmation of sexuality, it was a declaration of sovereignty. It was the final piece of her metamorphosis. The caterpillar had not only become the butterfly, but had also declared its right to fly to any flower it damn well pleased. In the days that followed, the digital world did what it does. There was an outpouring of love from the LGBTQ+ community, welcoming her. There were the inevitable bigoted comments, which she deleted with a dismissive flick of her thumb, a skill she'd mastered long ago. Her family, particularly Amy, was immediately and fiercely supportive. I just want her to be happy, Amy told a blogger, shrugging as if the answer was the most obvious thing in the world. Whoever makes her smile, that's who I want at the Sunday dinner table. But the most significant change was internal. A quiet settled over Tammy. The last ghost of her old self, the ghost that whispered she was unworthy of defining her own narrative, had been exorcised. She had taken control of the last thing she had ever felt she had no control over, her own story. She wasn't Tammy, the sister who weighed 1,000 pounds. She wasn't Tammy, the reality star. She wasn't Tammy, the medical miracle. She wasn't Tammy, the queer icon. She was just Tammy. A work in progress, a woman who had been to hell and back, a person capable of immense love and deserving of it in return, in whatever beautiful, unexpected form it decided to take. And for the first time, her future, much like her heart, felt wonderfully, limitlessly open. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.